Hello and welcome back to Service Management in the Movies. Today we're going to step away from Hollywood and walk into one of television's most iconic watering holes, Cheers, to talk about stickiness in service management. So you know that feeling, that sense of comfort in the familiar that keeps you coming back to a particular place or to use a particular service, whether it's a favorite cafe, an airline, or your hotel of choice. There's just something about that experience that just clicks and entices you to return. That's called stickiness. So in marketing terms, stickiness refers to the ability of a product, a service, or even a message for that matter, to remain memorable and influential in the minds of customers, leading hopefully to repeat engagement and loyalty. It's what happens when customers don't just use your service, but they connect with it. And that kind of connection typically doesn't happen by accident, as you might imagine. It's designed. So let's look at a few examples. Cheers, where everybody knows your name. At Cheers, people may come for the drinks, but they stay for the atmosphere, the people, the camaraderie, and the predictability of the experience. When Norm walks in and the entire bar shouts his name, it's funny for sure, but it's also a perfect metaphor for service stickiness. Customers return when they feel recognized and valued. The Cheers bar has, or had rather, a culture and rhythm that regulars could count on, and viewers for that matter. In the same way, a sticky service environment provides a dependable and engaging experience, one that invites customers to return because they want to, not just because they need to. And the takeaway here is familiarity builds trust, and trust builds loyalty. So National Car Rental, here's another example. And by the way, these are all services for which I'm very familiar. I've used all these services in the past. And no, we're not in any way sponsored by these organizations, but we would certainly love to have that conversation. So National Car Rental Company took traditionally a slow and frustrating, somewhat painful experience, renting a car, and turned it into one of empowerment. With their Emerald Isle service, there's no waiting in line, no need to talk to an agent. You simply walk out, pick any available car in your particular tier, and then for the most part, drive off. This hands-off, frictionless process is not only efficient, but it gives the customers control. And that control turns into preference. I actually know of a number of business travelers like myself who now go out of their way to use National because the process is so easy and it's predictable. And the takeaway here is sticky services empower customers through convenience and autonomy. So Marriott, another organization for which I'm very familiar. So from the Courtyard to Westin to the Ritz-Carlton, Marriott's brand family is built on one core principle: you know what you're going to get. So every Marriott property delivers a level of cleanliness, service, and comfort aligned with its brand tier. Business travelers especially rely on that predictability. For example, a Courtyard is designed for business travelers who need speed, efficiency, and a good night's sleep before the next day's onslaught of meetings. Whereas a Residence Inn feels more like home, perfect for extended stays or families with family travelers, complete with full kitchens or kitchenettes and extra space. Whereas the Ritz-Carlton, every detail is curated for luxury. So guests arrive expecting and receiving white glove treatment and impeccable design. And while the Ritz-Carlton is a bit out of my price range, I have had the opportunity to experience one or two. And if you get the chance, I highly recommend it. I have, however, stayed at a number of their Courtyard brand. And again, clean, convenient, and predictable. The takeaway here is reliability is the foundation of customer confidence, and that's what keeps them coming back. Software self-help. So let's use one last example using IT support and software services. So providing effective self-help tools for common issues, clear documentation, guided tutorials, intelligent search does more than just deflect tickets from the service desk. It creates confidence. It encourages users to solve problems on their own, reducing downtime and frustration. And over time, users begin to trust the system. They remember where to go, how to find what they need, and what to expect from the experience. And that's stickiness, not just through the process, but through empowerment. And the takeaway here is a sticky service doesn't just support users, it empowers them to succeed. So how do we create this for our own services? So as we mentioned before, stickiness can be baked into how services are delivered, how they're supported, or ideally both. And there are a few ways where we can begin. First, be consistent. So ensure each interaction looks familiar, feels familiar, and is reliable. Understand the journey. So step into your customer's shoes and examine each step of the full life cycle of a service, from onboarding to troubleshooting to retirement. And we've discussed this in a number of other videos as well. Look for moments of quote-unquote delight. So what do your users or customers love? What surprises them or could surprise them in a positive way? And make it easy, very important. So whether it's a support process, a service form, or a chatbot, ease of use matters. When services are intuitive, reliable, and emotionally resonant, they stick. So some final thoughts. Let's recap. Familiarity breeds loyalty, whether we're referring to sitcom bars or enterprise support teams. Consistency builds trust. Empowerment creates confidence, and stickiness is intentional, typically. It doesn't happen by chance, although it can, but by design. So thank you so much for joining us today. If you found this information, this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to be notified when we drop our next video or series of videos, please hit that subscribe button. And remember, in service management, just like in Cheers, sometimes you want to go where everyone knows your name. Take care, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody